Have you ever found yourself wondering why some people seem to navigate life with a calm confidence, able to make decisions and handle challenges that leave others overwhelmed? Perhaps you've questioned what sets apart those who not only succeed but excel, facing each situation with a sense of wisdom and purpose that is truly rare. In today's world, where distractions and chaos seem to dominate, could there be hidden traits that only a select few possess? Traits that lead to a higher level of understanding and intelligence? This video will unravel the mysteries behind those very characteristics. You'll discover 9 remarkable traits that set highly intelligent people apart from the rest of the population. Traits that 93% of people do not possess. But it's not just about identifying these qualities. It's about reflecting on how you can harness them in your own life to reach new heights. Whether you're seeking to improve your decision-making, deepen your emotional intelligence, or simply understand what makes some people truly wise, this video will guide you through the transformative journey. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means a lot, so if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Gather around, my friends, and let your hearts and minds be wide open, for what you are about to hear may forever change the way you understand love, intimacy, and the power that desire holds over us. This is no ordinary tale, but one filled with ancient wisdom, drawn from the well of life itself. The words of Isaura, a woman of immeasurable knowledge and timeless insight, will challenge you, surprise you, and perhaps even make you question your own perceptions of pleasure and passion. You see, Isaura had lived through generations, her life marked by the lessons of those who came before, and she carried with her the weight of ancestral wisdom. On this particular night, as the sky above glistened with stars, and the fire before her crackled and glowed, she gathered the men of the village to share a story that would leave an indelible mark on their souls. Isaura was no ordinary elder. Her wisdom was sought after by all who knew her, and her words held the power to shape the future of anyone who listened with an open heart. She had a gift for seeing beyond the surface of things, for recognizing the deeper truths hidden in everyday life, and for speaking with a clarity that made the complex seem simple. On this night, she felt the weight of the message she needed to deliver, and she knew that her words would ripple through time, affecting not only the men before her but the generations that would follow them. As the men settled around the fire, its light casting flickering shadows across their faces, Isaura began to speak, her voice soft yet commanding. There was an air of anticipation in the silence that followed her opening words. "Come close, my sons, and let your hearts be open to the lessons I will share tonight," she said, her eyes reflecting the flames as if they held the knowledge of all the ages. Love, desire, passion, these are the forces that bind us together, but they are also the forces that can lead us astray if we are not careful. Isaura's words carried a weight that was palpable. This was not just another story or fable meant to entertain. It was a lesson meant to guide these men through the labyrinth of human desire, a labyrinth that could be both intoxicating and dangerous. Her voice grew deeper, more resonant, as she continued. There is a certain kind of woman, one who revels in the pleasures of oral and anal love, whose passion knows no bounds. She can take a man to the very heights of ecstasy, but there is more beneath the surface. Her power is not just in her physical allure, but in the way she can captivate your very soul. The men were riveted, their attention fully on Isaura, as if they could feel the truth in her words long before they even understood them. Isaura was not warning them against the act of passion itself. No, she was urging them to be cautious of losing themselves entirely in the pursuit of pleasure. "It is not the desire that is dangerous," Isaura explained, her voice barely louder than the crackling fire, "but the surrender of your heart without thought or understanding. These women, who delight in such passions, may bring joy, but they can also take from you more than you are willing to give if you are not careful." There was a pause, a moment of reflection that hung in the air. Isaura let her words settle in, allowing the men to contemplate the weight of what she had just said. Her gaze swept across the circle of faces, each one captivated by her presence, and she continued, "The pleasures of the flesh are a gift, but they are also a test. It is easy to become lost in them, to lose sight of what truly matters in the haze of passion. And while the pursuit of such pleasures is not inherently wrong, it is the carelessness with which we sometimes approach them that leads to ruin." Isaura's words struck at the very core of human nature. Desire, after all, is a force that can drive us to do both great and terrible things. It is a part of who we are, but if we allow it to consume us, we risk losing our sense of self, our sense of purpose, and the deeper connections that give life meaning. She was not condemning those who sought pleasure, but was urging them to do so with wisdom and care. "The women who engage in such acts," Isaura continued, her voice now carrying a tone of both warning and compassion, "hold a certain power over the men they love. But that power is not one of malice or ill intent. It is a natural force, born of desire, and it is up to you to decide how you will navigate its currents. If you allow yourself to be swept away without thought, you may find yourself lost, adrift in a sea of passion with no way to return." The fire crackled softly as Isaura's words filled the night air, and the men around her began to see the truth in what she was saying. This was not a lesson about fear, nor was it a call to avoid the pleasures of love. It was a reminder that everything in life, even desire, requires balance. Too much indulgence, without care or reflection, could lead to pain, just as too much restraint could lead to emptiness. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Isaura's eyes glistened as she shared her final thoughts, her voice filled with emotion. "Remember this, my sons, for it is the key to both love and life. Passion is a gift, but it must be balanced with wisdom. Seek pleasure, yes, but do not lose yourself in it. Love deeply, but do not surrender your heart so fully that you forget who you are. And always, always remember that true love is not just about desire. It is about respect, understanding, and knowing when to hold on and when to let go." The night drew on, but Isaura's words lingered in the air, heavy with the truth they carried. The men, no longer just listeners, were now bearers of a wisdom that would guide them in their own lives, helping them navigate the delicate dance between desire and caution. Isaura's tale was one of love, yes, but also of self-awareness, of understanding the power that desire holds and the importance of maintaining one's sense of self within it. In my view, Isaura's wisdom transcends mere cautionary advice. It speaks to the very heart of what it means to be human, to love, to desire, and to navigate the complex world of relationships. Her words are a reminder that while passion is a beautiful part of life, it must be approached with a deep sense of respect, not just for others but for ourselves. For in the end, it is only through balance that we can truly find both joy and fulfillment in love. Women who delight in the secret pleasures of oral and anal intimacy often wield a certain power that can unravel even the strongest of men, Isaura whispered, her voice carrying just above the crackling of the fire, as though the flames themselves were straining to listen. "This is not a warning against the acts of passion themselves, but against the unguarded surrender of your heart and soul to the momentary intoxication of desire. Desire is a force that can blind even the wisest of us, leaving us vulnerable to hidden dangers. Dangers cloaked behind soft smiles and gentle, seductive whispers." Isaura's words floated in the night air like a delicate smoke, sinking into the hearts of the men gathered around her. They could feel the ancient weight of her message, the way her voice carried not just wisdom, but a lifetime of experiences, lessons learned through both joy and pain. The men hung on to every word, their minds turning over the deeper meaning behind her soft warning. This was no simple tale of caution. It was a truth born of centuries, a lesson meant to stir the very core of their souls. Her gaze swept over the men, lingering on each face as if she could see the internal battles they fought. She was not condemning pleasure, nor was she suggesting that intimacy was wrong or something to be feared. Rather, she was urging them to approach it with the full awareness that passion, while beautiful, can also lead to ruin if pursued without care. "Take heed, my sons," she said, her voice a gentle murmur in the stillness of the night. "In the heat of desire, logic and reason often fade, slipping through your fingers like sand. The road of pleasure may seem like a golden path, lit with the fires of ecstasy, but it is also a path with hidden forks. One leads to fulfillment, while the other can pull you into places you never intended to go. And once you find yourself there, the way back is often hard to find. Isaura let her words sink in deeply, allowing the men to reflect on their own desires and experiences. Her words were like a cool breeze on a hot night, soothing yet unsettling, as they brought with them a realization about the delicate nature of passion. She wasn't preaching abstinence, nor was she telling them to turn away from the pleasures of life. What she was saying was far more profound. Passion, like anything else in life, must be approached with balance. Too much indulgence, too little thought, and the very thing that brings joy could become the source of sorrow. She shifted slightly, the firelight flickering across her weathered face, which seemed to glow with an inner strength that spoke of a life lived fully, with all its highs and lows. You see, she continued, the women who take pleasure in these more intimate acts hold a unique power. They have a way of weaving a spell, of drawing you in with their allure, their touch, their whispered promises of pleasure. And for a time, you may believe you have found paradise. But paradise is a delicate thing, and it can turn to ashes if you lose yourself completely in it. The men, once again, found themselves hanging on her every word. They could feel the truth in what she was saying, the way it resonated with their own experiences. Some had perhaps already faced the consequences of unguarded desire, of passion pursued without thought. Others were hearing this wisdom for the first time, realizing for the first time the importance of what she was teaching. Isaura was offering them a balance, a way to navigate the waters of love and desire without being consumed by them. She was reminding them that it is not the act of passion that leads to ruin, but the surrender of oneself to it. Passion is powerful, yes, but it must be tempered with wisdom. For without wisdom, passion becomes a force that can tear apart even the strongest bonds, leaving nothing but emptiness in its wake. Remember, my dear ones, she said softly, her voice filled with both love and warning, the pursuit of pleasure is not wrong. It is a part of life, a gift meant to be enjoyed. But it is a gift that must be treated with respect. If you lose yourself to it, if you let it take over your mind and your heart, then you risk losing something far more valuable than a moment of ecstasy. You risk losing yourself. The fire crackled softly as her words settled over the group, the night air thick with the emotion that her message had stirred. Isaura's wisdom was like a beacon, guiding them through the complexities of human desire, offering a path that balanced indulgence with caution, joy with mindfulness. Her story wasn't just a warning, it was a call to live fully, to embrace the pleasures of life, but to do so with the awareness that not all roads lead to happiness. Some paths, though lined with beauty, are treacherous, and it takes a wise heart to navigate them. Even after the fire had died down, and the men had dispersed into the night, Isaura's words lingered in the cool breeze, etched into the hearts and minds of those who had gathered around her. Her voice, filled with both tenderness and gravity, echoed in their souls, reminding them always to seek balance in their lives, to cherish love and passion, but never to lose themselves entirely in its powerful grip. To me, Isaura's wisdom speaks to something that is often overlooked in our pursuit of happiness and pleasure. It is easy to be swept away by the allure of desire, to seek out that which brings us the most joy in the moment. But without care, without reflection, those very desires can turn on us, leading us into places we never intended to go. Isaura's message is not about rejecting passion, but about honoring it, by recognizing its power and approaching it with a sense of balance and respect. In that way, we can find true fulfillment, not just in the moment, but in the long, winding journey of life. In my opinion, Isaura's wisdom touches a profound truth that many tend to overlook. Our most intense desires can often obscure the path ahead, blinding us to the potential consequences. It's not that pleasure or intimacy should be feared, but rather that they should be approached with a deep understanding of the hidden emotions and consequences that accompany them. When passion arises, it is crucial to embrace it with both an open heart and a sharp mind, to ensure we do not lose ourselves in its grasp. Isaura, with her calm and collected demeanor, continued to weave her lessons on the delicate balance of intimacy and the need to navigate desire with awareness. "I am not here to forbid the pursuit of pleasure," she said softly, her eyes wise and knowing, "but to encourage discernment. Understand that true love and intimacy are not just about surrendering to passion. Mutual respect and deep understanding are the keys to unraveling the mysteries of desire. Only then can love thrive without consuming you." Her words, spoken with such care and love, echoed throughout the village, touching the hearts of everyone who heard them. As the days passed, her wisdom took root in the minds of the villagers, and they began to flourish in harmony, guided by the lessons Isaura had passed down. The men of the village, once consumed by their passions, learned to appreciate the nuances of intimacy. They sought deeper connections with their partners, built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. The village thrived under this newfound sense of balance, and Isaura's wisdom seemed to have brought peace. But as with any peace, it was fragile. One night, as the moon cast a silver glow across the village, a mysterious outsider arrived. Her name was Amelia, a woman whose beauty and charm seemed to defy the natural order. She carried herself with an air of intrigue, her eyes sparkling with a mischievous allure. From the moment she set foot in the village, she stirred something within the hearts of the men, a longing, a temptation that was hard to resist. Amelia's presence was captivating, and soon, the men who had once heeded Isaura's advice began to waver. Under the spell of Amelia's magnetic charm, they questioned the old woman's warnings. Amelia danced under the moonlight, her movements graceful and hypnotic, as if she were casting a spell over the village itself. The air was thick with temptation, and it seemed as though Isaura's wisdom was being drowned out by the allure of this mysterious newcomer. But Isaura, ever watchful, knew that this was a test of the lesson she had taught, and a challenge to the balance the village had achieved. Though she had seen many seasons pass, Isaura's wisdom was unwavering, and she decided that the time had come to confront this enigmatic presence. One evening, as the village slept, Isaura sought out Amelia, finding her beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient tree, its roots deep in the earth and its leaves whispering in the night breeze. Amelia, wrapped in the moon's soft glow, was a picture of ethereal beauty, but Isaura could see the layers of mystery that surrounded her like a cloak. With the steady resolve of someone who has seen through many illusions, Isaura approached her. "Amelia," Isaura said, her voice as calm and steady as the wind. "You have enchanted these men with your charm and allure, but I see there is more to you than meets the eye." Amelia's lips curled into a slight smile, but her eyes revealed little. "I have only given them what they desire," she replied, her voice smooth like honey. "Is that so wrong, Isaura? Can one be blamed for answering the call of passion?" Isaura's gaze never wavered. "There is nothing wrong with passion, child, but there is much danger in feeding it without understanding. Desire without boundaries is like a fire. It may provide warmth and light, but if left unchecked, it will consume everything in its path." For a moment, silence hung between them, the weight of Isaura's words settling in the air. Amelia tilted her head, intrigued. "And what is it you seek to understand about me, Isaura? Do you think I come here with ill intent?" "I do not presume to know your intent," Isaura replied, her voice still soft yet unyielding. "But I do know that those who chase desire blindly often lose themselves along the way. I have seen many men fall to the seduction of pleasure, not because it was evil, but because they did not pause to ask themselves what it would cost." If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Amelia's smile faded slightly, and for the first time, a flicker of uncertainty crossed her face. Isaura, sensing this, pressed forward gently. "What is it that you seek, Amelia? You carry an air of mystery, but there is pain in you, too. You are more than just a temptress, aren't you?" Amelia looked away for a moment, her gaze lost in the distance. The air grew heavy with tension, and Isaura waited patiently. Finally, Amelia spoke, her voice quieter now. "I am not what I seem," she confessed. I have walked through many places, and I have learned to use desire as a shield. It gives me power, yes, but it also keeps me safe from the world. I have seen what lies beyond love's tender embrace, and it is a world of hurt. I have become what others expect me to be because it is easier than being vulnerable. Isaura's heart softened at this revelation. She had seen such pain before, masked by the seductive power of intimacy. You do not have to live behind this mask, Isaura said gently. True strength does not come from controlling others with desire. It comes from knowing who you are and finding peace in your own heart. Love is not something to be feared, nor should it be used as a weapon. It is a gift, but only when it is shared with respect and understanding. The two women stood in the quiet of the night, and though no more words were exchanged, something had shifted. Emilia, for the first time in a long while, felt seen, not as a symbol of temptation, but as a woman with her own fears, her own desires, and her own need for connection. Isaura's wisdom, once again, had pierced through the illusion. And in that moment, a new kind of harmony was born, one built not on the rejection of desire, but on the understanding of it. The village, under Isaura's steady guidance, would continue to flourish, not just in love and passion, but in the delicate balance that binds us all together. Emilia, you carry with you a power that stirs deep desires, a power that many do not understand, Isaura spoke with a calm but firm voice, her eyes steady on the younger woman. But love is not merely a dance in the shadows of fleeting passion. Every heart you touch holds its own secrets, and it's vital that you respect the boundaries each one sets. It's through honoring those boundaries that love can truly flourish, not through seduction alone. Emilia, who had often used her beauty and charm to captivate, felt the weight of Isaura's words sink deep into her. She had lived a life shaped by the pursuit of desire, and while it brought her moments of pleasure and admiration, it had also left her with a profound sense of emptiness. Beneath the surface, she too had longed for something more, something deeper, more enduring. For the first time, as she gazed into the eyes of the old woman, Emilia felt seen not as a temptress, but as a woman with her own story of love and disappointment. She understood now that love wasn't just about stirring desire, but also about giving herself with honesty, vulnerability, and sincerity. In that moment of shared understanding, a quiet alliance formed between the two women. Isaura's wisdom, drawn from a lifetime of observation and reflection, merged with Emilia's experiences of heartache and longing. Together, they carried a new understanding of love and intimacy back to the village, one that would transform the way its people approached their relationships. The village had always been a place where passion and desire were celebrated, but under Isaura and Emilia's guidance, a shift began to take place. The men and women of the village began to realize that love was more than the thrill of the chase or the heat of seduction. True love was built on mutual respect, communication, and the willingness to be vulnerable with one another. Slowly but surely, this new understanding began to take root, and the village entered an era of deeper, more meaningful connections. Men who had once pursued women with a single-minded focus on physical pleasure now sought to understand their partners on a deeper level. They learned to listen, to appreciate the complexities of the hearts they sought to win. Women, too, found a new kind of strength in this balance, knowing that their worth was not tied to their ability to seduce, but to their capacity to connect with their partners emotionally and intellectually. The village flourished in this new era. Relationships deepened, and the bonds between lovers became stronger, built on a foundation of mutual trust and respect. What had once been a place where seduction reigned now became a community where love, in its truest form, was honored and nurtured. But not all was peaceful. Just as the village began to settle into this new harmony, a figure appeared, someone who would test the lessons that Isaura and Emilia had imparted. One night, under a full moon, a mysterious outsider arrived. Her name was Emilia, a woman unlike any the village had seen before. She was captivating, with an allure that seemed almost otherworldly. Wherever she went, eyes followed her, and hearts quickened in her presence. Her beauty was undeniable, but it was her aura of mystery that truly enchanted those who crossed her path. The men of the village, who had learned to balance their desires with wisdom, found themselves drawn to Amelia's magnetic presence. Her arrival stirred something within them, a longing that they had thought they had learned to control. Amelia's dance beneath the moonlight, her movements graceful and hypnotic, cast a spell over the village, enveloping it in an atmosphere thick with temptation. The lessons Isaura had taught about love and restraint seemed to fade in the presence of this new temptation. Isaura, ever watchful, understood that this was no ordinary visitor. She sensed that Amelia's arrival was a test, not just for the men of the village, but for herself and the wisdom she had shared. While others were captivated by Amelia's charm, Isaura saw beyond the surface. She knew that behind Amelia's beauty and allure lay a story, one that needed to be understood, not feared. One evening, Isaura decided to confront the enigmatic stranger. She found Amelia beneath the ancient tree that stood at the edge of the village, a tree whose roots ran deep into the earth, just as the village's traditions and values did. Amelia stood in the moonlight, her face serene but guarded, as Isaura approached. "You carry a great power," Isaura said, her voice calm but unwavering. "But you know as well as I do, that love is not just about desire. What is it that you seek here, Amelia?" Amelia's eyes met Isaura's, and for a moment, the veil of mystery she had carefully constructed seemed to fall away. "I have lived a life of seduction," Amelia confessed softly. "I have mastered the art of awakening desire in others, but in doing so, I have lost touch with my own heart. I came here because I have heard of your wisdom, Isaura. I wanted to understand what I have been missing, why, despite everything, I feel so empty." Isaura nodded, her heart softening toward the younger woman. "The path you have walked is not uncommon," she said. "Many have sought fulfillment in the pursuit of passion, only to find that it leaves them hollow. True love, real connection, comes not from how you captivate others but from how you allow yourself to be seen, as you truly are, without masks, without artifice." Amelia's voice trembled as she spoke. "But I am afraid. I have used my allure to protect myself, to keep others from seeing the parts of me that I cannot bear to show. What if, in revealing my true self, I am rejected?" Isaura stepped closer, her gaze filled with understanding. "It is only by revealing your true self that you will find the connection you seek. Love cannot grow in the shadows of half-truths and guarded hearts. It thrives in the light of honesty, vulnerability, and trust. And though it is frightening to expose your heart, it is the only way to find the love that will fill the emptiness inside you." Amelia stood in silence for a long moment, letting Isaura's words wash over her. Slowly, she began to realize that the power she had relied on for so long, the power of seduction, was not the key to the happiness she had been seeking. It was time for her to let go of her defenses and allow herself to be seen for who she truly was. In the days that followed, Amelia began to open her heart, first to Isaura, and then to the people of the village. She shared her story, her fears, her disappointments, and her hopes. And in doing so, she discovered that love, true love, is not about perfection or control, but about acceptance and mutual understanding. Together, Isaura and Amelia brought a new depth to the village's understanding of love. It was no longer just about passion or desire, but about connection, communication, and the courage to be vulnerable. The village, once again, flourished, but this time it did so with a newfound sense of balance. The people had learned that the real magic of love lies not in seduction, but in the truth of their hearts. For those who reflect on this story, there are 5 powerful lessons to take away. Mutual respect and understanding. Isaura's teachings remind us that real love is built on mutual respect and understanding. Desire alone is fleeting, but when paired with a deep understanding of the other person's heart, it becomes something much more meaningful. Caution in the pursuit of pleasure. Pleasure is a natural and beautiful part of life, but it must be pursued with wisdom and responsibility. Without caution, the pursuit of pleasure can lead us down paths that undermine the deeper connection love requires. The challenges of love. Amelia's arrival serves as a reminder that love is not without its trials. Even when passion is strong, it's important to stay true to the principles of respect, boundaries, and understanding. True love can only grow when these challenges are faced with honesty. The power of communication. Isaura and Amelia's story teaches us that communication is the key to deepening relationships. Through open and honest dialogue, misunderstandings can be resolved, and true connections can be forged. The strength in vulnerability. Amelia's journey shows that real strength lies in vulnerability. It is through sharing our true selves, flaws and all, that we find the kind of love that fills the soul. Acceptance of each other's truths is what strengthens the bonds between people. In conclusion, this story of Isaura, Amelia, and the village offers a timeless reflection on the complexities of love and desire. It teaches us that true love is a delicate balance between passion and prudence, between the pursuit of pleasure and the deeper understanding of one another's hearts. The real magic of love lies in the journey of mutual growth, communication, and acceptance, and in the courage to be vulnerable with the ones we choose to love. The wisdom passed down by Isaura not only transformed the lives of the men in the village, but also the way they related to women. Her teachings about respect, communication, and acceptance allowed them to understand that relationships are not just about seeking pleasure but about creating a deep and authentic connection. The village, once marked by superficial relationships and fleeting desires, began to value moments of vulnerability and sincerity. Men and women strove to build bonds based on trust and mutual respect. Isaura continued to share her advice with those willing to listen, always reminding them that true love is not about winning but about sharing and learning together. In time, even Amelia, the enigmatic outsider, found her place in the village. Her life experience intertwined with Isaura's wisdom, creating a balance between passion and prudence. Amelia became an example that, while desire may be strong, it is honesty and mutual commitment that truly strengthen a relationship. The story of Isaura and Amelia left an indelible mark on the village, where future generations learned that true love is not just a physical act but an emotional and spiritual bond that must be nurtured with respect, communication, and acceptance. Through this story, it was reminded that the path to a lasting and meaningful relationship is a constant journey of growth and mutual understanding. Thus, the old woman Isaura, with her wisdom and experience, and Amelia, with her enigmatic charm, demonstrated that the true power in relationships lies in the ability to open the heart, listen to one another, and walk together on the path of love and understanding. The villagers, once caught in the whirlwind of fleeting desires and superficial attractions, gradually embraced the profound lessons left behind by Isaura and Amelia. These teachings were not just about love and passion, but about building a community that thrived on mutual respect, honesty, and understanding. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. As Isaura continued to offer her guidance, the men of the village began to approach relationships with a deeper sense of purpose. They learned to communicate openly, seeking to understand their partner's emotions and needs rather than simply pursuing pleasure. The women, too, became more attuned to the value of vulnerability, sharing their own stories of love, hurt, and hope. Together, the village blossomed into a place where love was no longer just a pursuit of desire, but a shared journey of growth. Amelia, the once mysterious outsider, played a pivotal role in this transformation. Initially viewed as a figure of temptation, she soon revealed her own struggles and desires, helping the villagers see that true strength in relationships comes from embracing both light and shadow. Through her partnership with Isaura, she demonstrated that passion, when paired with respect and vulnerability, could create bonds that were unbreakable. As years passed, the wisdom of Isaura and Amelia became part of the village's very fabric. Their lessons were passed down from generation to generation, ensuring that the principles of love, respect, and communication would never be forgotten. Young men and women, as they grew and formed their own relationships, would often gather around the same bonfire where Isaura once spoke, sharing stories of their ancestors and the lessons that shaped their lives. The village, once a place of fleeting romances and shallow connections, transformed into a community known far and wide for its deep, meaningful relationships. Visitors from distant lands would come to hear the stories of Isaura and Amelia, seeking guidance in their own lives. The villagers, proud of the legacy left behind by these wise women, were always eager to share what they had learned. Isaura, even as her days grew short, remained the pillar of wisdom that the village had come to cherish. Her presence, though physically fragile, was imbued with the strength of the countless lessons she had imparted over the years. The men and women who had once been lost in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures now stood as testaments to her guidance, thriving in relationships built on the foundation she had laid. As Isaura rested, surrounded by those whose lives she had touched, her heart swelled with peace. She could see the fruits of her labor all around her, a village transformed by love, understanding, and connection. Emilia, once a figure shrouded in mystery and allure, had also blossomed into a beloved member of the village. Her transformation was nothing short of remarkable. Once driven by seduction and guarded by emotional walls, she had learned to embrace vulnerability and truth. Through Isaura's wisdom and her own willingness to change, Emilia found redemption and discovered the depth of real love, love that wasn't merely about desire, but about mutual respect, honesty, and the courage to open one's heart. Over time, Emilia became a symbol of hope, showing that anyone, no matter how lost they may feel, could find their way back to love if they were willing to do the work. The story of Isaura and Emilia grew beyond the fireside tales the villagers once whispered. It became ingrained in the fabric of the community, a living, breathing part of their identity. Whenever challenges arose, whether in love, friendship, or even the daily trials of life, the people would remember Isaura's words, her lessons passed down like heirlooms, and the remarkable transformation of Emilia. Their story was no longer just a cautionary tale but a beacon of hope and guidance, one that showed the way to a life rooted in respect and deep connection. The villagers, now living by the values Isaura had instilled in them, knew that the true magic of love didn't lie in brief moments of passion or the thrill of pursuit. Instead, it resided in the steady, enduring bonds that grew through mutual understanding, vulnerability, and kindness. They had learned, through Isaura's gentle but firm guidance, that real love was a continuous act of giving and receiving, an exchange that required patience, trust, and most of all, the willingness to see one another fully and completely. Isaura's legacy became the heart of the village, and her teachings stretched far beyond the lives of those she had directly touched. Generation after generation, her wisdom was passed down, ensuring that the values she had championed, respect, communication, vulnerability, would never be forgotten. And Emilia's transformation was a reminder that even those who had wandered far from the path of true love could find their way back, as long as they had the courage to face themselves and open their hearts. The legacy of Isaura and Emilia continues to live on, a reminder to us all that love is not a fleeting sensation or the mere pursuit of physical pleasure. It is a lifelong journey, one of discovery, growth, and connection. It is about building something lasting, something beautiful, with the people we choose to share our lives with. Love, as Isaura taught, is not without its challenges, but when it is nurtured with wisdom and compassion, it leads to a life filled with joy, understanding, and peace. For all of us, the story of Isaura and Emilia serves as a timeless guide, showing that love is not simply an emotion or a desire. It is an active, deliberate choice. It is a path we must walk every day, with intention and care, knowing that its rewards are far greater than anything fleeting passion can offer. In a world that often rushes toward instant gratification, their story is a gentle reminder that the most profound connections come from patience, vulnerability, and the willingness to grow together. Isaura's wisdom lives on, like a gentle breeze that touches the hearts of those who are ready to hear it. And Emilia's journey remains a testament to the power of love, not the kind that ignites and burns out quickly, but the kind that endures, that transforms, and that ultimately heals. Through their legacy, we are reminded that love, in all its complexity and beauty, is the greatest gift we can give and receive. And when we approach it with wisdom, compassion, and an open heart, it becomes the foundation upon which a life of meaning and fulfillment is built. Have you ever found yourself gazing at someone and marveling at their ability to navigate life with an effortless grace? Do you wonder how they seem to possess a quiet strength, a wisdom that makes their decisions seem so precise, their actions so intentional, while the rest of us struggle with uncertainty and doubt? Have you questioned what secret qualities set these individuals apart, allowing them to excel not only in their personal achievements but in the way they face life's most daunting challenges, with an unwavering sense of purpose? In a world full of distractions, where it often feels like we're drowning in information yet starving for wisdom, there are a rare few who stand out. These individuals don't just survive the chaos, they thrive in it. They possess an extraordinary kind of intelligence, one that goes beyond IQ scores or academic achievements. It's a deep, intrinsic understanding of the world, a heightened emotional awareness, and an unshakable sense of self. It's the kind of intelligence that 93% of people lack, but one that can be cultivated if you know the right steps to take. In this video, we're about to dive deep into the 9 remarkable traits that define these exceptionally intelligent people. Traits that most of the world doesn't even recognize or acknowledge. These aren't just surface-level attributes, but profound, emotionally resonant characteristics that allow these individuals to see beyond the noise, to focus with laser-sharp clarity, and to handle the complexities of life with poise and wisdom. But this video is about more than just identifying these traits. It's about understanding how you can adopt them, how you can fundamentally transform the way you think, feel, and interact with the world around you. Imagine, for a moment, what it would be like to move through life with a deeper understanding of your emotions, with the ability to connect with others on a truly profound level, and to face each challenge with calm, measured confidence, no matter how overwhelming it seems. We'll explore how these intelligent individuals possess an almost supernatural ability to remain composed in the face of chaos, how they turn obstacles into opportunities, and how their depth of empathy enables them to connect with people in ways that most of us can only dream of. You'll learn how they manage to maintain an unwavering sense of inner peace, even in the midst of external turmoil, and how they can see through the clutter of life's distractions to focus on what truly matters. These traits aren't just about being smart. They're about being wise in the deepest, most profound sense of the word. By staying with us until the end of this video, you will unlock these secrets for yourself. You'll learn how to cultivate these rare qualities in your own life, how to harness the power of emotional intelligence, how to sharpen your focus and clarity, and how to approach every decision with the wisdom and grace of those who seem to have mastered the art of living. This is more than just a list of traits. This is a guide to transforming your mindset, to becoming the person who stands out from the crowd, who lives with purpose, direction, and a profound sense of meaning. The kind of person who is not only respected but admired for their quiet strength and depth of character. So, I urge you, stay with us until the very end. Because what you're about to discover isn't just knowledge. It's the key to a new way of thinking, a new way of living, one that could change the course of your life forever. If you're ready to unlock the hidden traits of truly intelligent people and apply them to your own life, then this journey is for you. Embrace it.